The first time Daniel saw Eleanor, it was a rainy afternoon in Oxford. She was sitting by the library window, her dark hair spilling across the desk, eyes lost inside a book of poetry. Something about the way she smiled faintly at the lines, like she was secretly in conversation with the author, pulled him closer before he even realized his feet were moving. "Good book?" he asked softly. She looked up, startled, then smiled. "It's Rilke." "So, yes. It feels like he understands every hidden corner of me." That was how it began. Two souls circling each other in the quiet corners of libraries, along cobblestone streets, beneath the heavy clouds of England's endless skies. They spent weeks reading to each other, drinking tea until it grew cold, writing fragments of thoughts in each other's notebooks. Eleanor called Daniel her anchor, because his calm steadied her storms. Daniel called Eleanor his fire, because her laughter lit everything he thought had long turned to ash. They promised each other forever on a night when the air smelled of rain and roses. Daniel had taken her hand under the old bridge by the river. "Even when we are wrinkled and gray, I'll still choose you," he whispered. She pressed her forehead to his. "And I'll still read Rilke to you when your eyes grow tired." But forever is rarely as long as it sounds. It was only 3 years later when Eleanor's hands began to tremble, when her body betrayed her with an illness no doctor could quiet. Daniel refused to leave her side. He learned how to braid her hair when she grew too weak, how to carry her gently down the stairs when she wanted to see the garden, how to smile when his chest was burning with fear. One night, when the pain had stolen even her laughter, Eleanor pressed a folded paper into his palm. Her eyes were glassy but steady. "Don't open it now," she whispered. "One day when you need me most, then read it." He wanted to argue, but her hand lingered on his cheek with such quiet strength that he could only nod. She passed away on a Sunday morning in spring. The blossoms outside their window were falling like snow, and Daniel swore he heard her last breath blend with the sigh of the wind. He buried her with the poems she loved, and after the funeral he tucked the letter away in a box he couldn't bear to touch. Years stretched on. Daniel lived, but always half in shadow. He traveled, worked, even smiled sometimes, but a part of him remained anchored to the echo of her voice. Friends urged him to move on, to let go. But how could he? She was still everywhere, in the rain against the glass, in the smell of old books, in the quiet moments before sleep. On the 10th anniversary of her passing, Daniel returned to Oxford. The city was just as it had been, the cobblestones worn, the river soft and slow, the library hushed with secrets. He sat at the same table where she once read poetry, and for the first time he opened the letter. The handwriting was delicate, trembling, but unmistakably hers. "My dearest Daniel, if you are reading this, it means time has taken me where love could not keep me. Please don't weep for too long. You gave me a forever within our brief years, and I am endlessly grateful. I want you to live, to smile, to find beauty even without me by your side. Remember that love does not end. It only changes form. Every time you feel the rain, it is me. Every time you hear laughter, it is me. Every time you open a book and your heart stirs, I am there, sitting across from you, smiling at the words. And when your own time comes, do not be afraid. I will be waiting, just across the river, under the same stars. Always yours, Eleanor." The words blurred through his tears. For the first time in years, Daniel did not feel crushed by her absence, but lifted by her presence. She had not left him. She never would. He closed the letter, pressed it to his heart, and whispered into the empty library, "Until we meet again, my fire." Outside, the rain began to fall, gentle, tender, like her hands once were. And for the first time since she left, Daniel smiled without breaking. Later that evening, as the bells of the old college tolled across the city, Daniel walked by the river where they had once promised forever. The moon spilled silver across the water, and in its reflection he thought he saw her, laughing, hair loose, holding a book to her chest. He knew it was only memory, but it didn't matter. She was still his anchor, his fire, his eternity. And with every step forward he carried her love, not as a weight, but as wings.